The enemy don't shout. He whispers and then he waits. Every time I come to a crossroad to do the right thing or the wrong thing, the enemy don't come loud. He don't pull up with no microphone, bro. He comes quiet. He whispers, rob, kill, steal. You done did worse in your past. That's the craziest thing. He never screams. It's a whisper that sounds just like you. I had to get that out. But welcome back to Billionaire Discipleship, where building wealth, street wisdom, and serving Christ collides, but it doesn't divide. Man, this joint, this joint got some heat onto it, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. And the episode is gonna be called "Evil Whispers Instead of a Shout," and I'm gonna be real with y'all guys, bro. Like the Lord is definitely still working through me, bro. I ain't even gonna sit here in front like I'm like, yeah, bro. Like I still got some ninja in me, bro. Like keep it a buck with you, bro. Like I can't even hold you. The beauty of this episode is I wrote this joint in the past, and then looking back, like where I'm at now, like y'all see that I'm like in a different setting, like a different background. Uh, had to relocate, and yeah, the Lord's definitely been blessing us, bro. Like I ain't even gonna sit here in front, bro. Like I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Don't non-deserving, but so thankful. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into the episode. So I'm gonna start off with this one quote I got from Craig Rochelle, and it hit. It it's like a one statement summary of my faith. If I'm gonna be 100% real with you, bro, because it's like this is the quote right here. Serving God faithfully often makes you a target, and it's like you think you like yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying like I done been through the worst of the worst, but like from my faith journey, it's like yeah, I can't even tell you where to start at with the problems, bro. Like I ain't even about to sit here and talk your heads off like that, but keep it a buck with you. That's just what it is. Like whenever you walking towards faith, it's gonna really hit you, bro. Like you gonna feel like, dang, bro, I just can't catch a break, bro. Like some people, don't get me wrong, some people faith journey is definitely everybody faith journey is different, bro. But like if you put it into your perspective, bro, it's like you, you gonna be walking down a path and you're gonna go through so much trials and tribulation while walking with Christ. But like that's the beauty of faith. Like you have somebody to lean on, bro. Like you got Jesus to lean on. Like you got God, you got the Holy Spirit. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's like I can't even tell you how many times I done bawled out, cried, bro. Like in the shower, bro. Like even honestly, even at this episode, bro, it's like I wrote this show in my daughter's room when I genuinely didn't know the consequences of what was about to go down. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's not the worst case scenario, but it's like when you've been scarred so many times, it's like, bro, I didn't, Lord, I didn't did the right so many times, bro. It's like the only option is the wrong way, bro. It's like you can't let yourself slip into that mindset again. Like definitely if you from the streets, like once you once you take that turn, yeah, you can come back, but it's gonna be harder to come back that second time, bro. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. Like I ain't never been through it, but like I'm just telling you, bro, that second time gonna hit, bro. Like and that's the whole point of like the enemy like trying to get you to go down that road, trying to get you to flip, trying to get you to man, I can make one more flip, bro. Make a 10 rack flip, bro. And be good, bro. Like, you think of it like that, and it's like, nah, bro. You can't think of it like that. You gotta look at the long path and the long trajectory that God got you on, bro. So it's like that's where it really hit at. Like sometimes I be still wanting to risk it all if I'm being real with you, bro. Like sometimes I ain't even gonna hold you. Sometimes I just be wanting to put the mask on. Yeah, but it's like walking the walking the faith. Like you gotta ask yourself, like what would that do to my faith? Like that's gonna scar my faith, bro. Like I can't walk around doing something like that. Like don't get me wrong, yeah, I did that in the past, but it's like me doing that now, me having a family doing that now. It's like if I get caught, bro, like yeah, everything flip, bro. Like and like my family depend on me, bro. Like I'm pretty sure every family should depend on the man in the household. And it's like you you gotta you gotta walk in like that Christ leadership. That's why I study Christ in the leadership lens. And it's like when I ever since I've been doing that, it's like yeah, Christ's been hitting a whole different way, bro. Like whole different way of parenting, whole different way of thinking, whole different way of dealing with relationships, dealing with family members, dealing with this, dealing with that. Like and don't get me wrong, I'm still working on my own stuff, bro. Like I definitely got some anger problems, bro. I ain't even gonna sit here in front, bro. Like yeah, bro. Like I'm a hothead, bro. Like don't get it twisted, bro. Like I'm real respectful, but soon as that disrespect, I be ready to throw the gloves, man. Forget the gloves, bro. Throw them hands, bro. And it's like, yeah, I'm still working that out. Like even in the past situation, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. 'Cause like still got some stuff going on with that, but it's like in the past situation where we was at, it's like we was dealing with something. It's like I felt trapped, so it's like I had to get out of that. I had to remove myself from that situation before it really was a situation. And I'm a publicly talk about it one day, but not right now. It's still fresh. It still just happened, bro. I'm gonna let it process, bro. Um, but it definitely hit because it's like I've caught myself mentally planning missions before because my flesh still remembers that. Like it's still don't get me wrong, like you gotta think about it, bro. It's like I've been walking with God for about 5 years, going on 6. So it's like if you put in like I live how like keep it a buck with you, bro. Like I started smoking when I was in fifth grade, bro. Like I hit my first J when I was in 5th grade, bro. Like walking in that type of trajectory of your life, and it's like from 5th grade to 21, 20, 22, 20, 21. Yeah, 21 right after my 21st. Like you gotta think about that. Like how many years that was, bro. So it's like you gotta think of your faith journey as like an infant, bro. Like it gotta grow legs, it gotta eat, it's not gonna always be formula, but you gonna grow up to like real meals and like like keep it above with you. The way I treat my faith is like the way I treat like childhood. Like, all right, I'm 6 years old, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, I may be far advanced for a 6-year-old in my faith, but I'm still gonna treat it like, yeah, all right, give yourself a little grace. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna go through whatever you're gonna go through, but like the Lord's always gonna give you grace whatever you're gonna go through. So it's like that's when that's when you always ask that question like what is that going to do to my faith, and that's it snap you right back to reality, bro. It's like all right, bro, not only is this gonna mess with my faith, it's gonna mess with my family, it's gonna mess with my the path that God got me on right now. Like why would I go through something stupid like that, or yeah, something like that, and then yeah, so it's like imagine getting fired from multiple jobs when you're having a family. And it's like I really love this quote from Tyler Staton. He's an amazing author. Definitely gotta go check him out, bro. I listened to one of his books and I'm reading one currently. Dope author, bro. I ain't even gonna sit here in front, bro. Like his words cut. deep, bro. And it's like, yeah, them Jones. But it's like, this is the quote: pain is not a part of God's design, but He's so good that it is a part of His renewal. So it's like, that's where taking every L you know, like took in your life or took in your faith journey and turning that into a lesson, turning that into a flip. Like for instance, me getting fired, like I was saying earlier, me getting fired, got fired. All right, bro, got me a job. Started listening to more books while I was at that job. So I was hustling harder at the job that I was getting paid less at. I was hustling hard. Like, think about that, bro. Like, that's faith, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you, God really used that pain to turn it into like this podcast, or honestly, for real, just like coaching, or me giving like walking through books with people, like stuff like that. Like, you gotta think about that. Like, God blessed me with that wisdom and that knowledge and that hustle and that grind, to where I could pass it on to multiple people, multiple generations. Like, think about that, bro. Like, if you really sit and think about that, bro, that joint hit, bro. And it's like, throughout the journey, the snake will whisper and creep up on you, but you have to walk by faith. That's where I can't even tell you how many times I didn't want to do some dirt, like keep it a buck with you, bro. Like I said, even right next, like I'm gonna talk briefly about it, but I'm not gonna go too far into it. But it's like going through a work situation, you on the hinge of getting fired, and you don't know what happened, and it's like, it over something small, you be like, dang, bro, like, dang, bro, if I just waited like 5, 10 seconds, bro, I would have been, or 5, 10 more minutes, bro, I would have been good, bro. Like, it was like situations like that. It's like, that's where it really hit with your faith, because you want you want to continue to ask yourself, what is that going to do to my faith in those moments, in those dark times, in those pivotal. It's either walk away, or do the dirt, like, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, when you have that type of mindset from the streets, and you walking by faith, you gonna have them moments, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. You gonna have them moments, bro. And that's what this whole podcast is about. It's like, being able to understand, like, dang, bro, like, there's a lot of people who feel this way. There's a lot of people who go through struggles and just be wanting to throw on a mask, and do some dirt, or whatever the case may be, bro. Or go make a flip, bro. Or like, go, like, you know what I'm saying, like, go do this to relieve the pain. Like, that's where those crossroads and consequences come into. And it's like, dog, it really hit, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro. I can't. I really wish I can go into this recent situation I'm going, or me and my family went through. It's like, the people did us so dirty. We we really just had to remove ourselves before we act out of character. And then that's where that question come in. What is that going to do to my faith? Being in this situation, what is that going to do to my faith? Getting out of this situation, what is that going to do to my faith? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's when it really hits you. And I love this quote that I wrote down. Faith walks you past the lick you could have hit. Like, if you think about that, like, you could have hit a lick, and cuz got it. Could have hit a lick, boom, got back up. You could have been doing your thing, but instead you walking by faith, playing the long game, bro. Like I said, what is that lick gonna do, bro? What if he hit it back? Like, or what if you get jammed up, that jam up your that jam gonna jam up your next 5, 10, 15, possibly 25 years if you did that bad of a dirt compared to God's plan for you for 5, 10, 15, 25 years. Like think of it like that. Like that's the questions that you really gotta ask yourself. Like and I know people be like, yeah, they be thinking like off the top or acting in emotions, but that's where you always gotta keep a note. Like I got almost 1,000 notes on my phone, bro. Not even including the screenshots, bro. Like my screenshot, I think I got like from all the books that I read over the few years, bro. I got like 6,000 screenshots of like highlighted stuff of the books that I read, bro. And we not even like, whoo, we not even gonna keep going into that, but that's where the that's where walking by faith it's really gonna hit you at. Like that's you gotta think faith for the consequences. Like either I pay the consequences for doing this dirt, or I pay the faith to having faith. I pay the price. My fault. I pay the price for having faith and get the God's bigger picture for my life. That's where it really hits your heart and really hits your soul. And I'm about to wrap it up here. So and I got a few more quotes from you guys, and I'm gonna go into a little bit of spill. But like like I was saying, if you was to do some dirt, you already gonna spend 5, 10 years compared to your faith in 5, 10 years. Like that's why I love this quote from PD. Faith and trust always ride together. There are no losses in God. Like I was just telling you about the whole situation. I was at a lower paying job. I got fired from a good paying job to a lower paying job, and my grind kicked in even harder. And then I'm still eating off of those notes that in those books that I read back then, not even including the stuff that I'm reading now and in between. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't even tell you, and this is why I love this quote from PD again. God didn't allow the weapon to do what the enemy intended. And just like I was saying, like I could have had just gave up on my stocks and like real estate and or actually I did give up on real estate at that point. Keep it a buck with you. Honestly, I feel like God removed me from that situation because I was a little too comfortable, or I was going to get too comfortable, and He was like, "Nah, bro, I got bigger plans for you, but like I got used to this pain." Like I still think about it today. Like, was it really God or was it really the enemy? Like, keep it a buck with you, bro. And it's like, don't get me wrong, it could have been the enemy, but like PD just said, God didn't allow that weapon to hurt me. God didn't allow that weapon to hurt me the way the enemy intended it to hurt me. So if you think of it like that, it's like, dang, bro, that's when it really hits you at like, yeah, dang, bro. Like like I said, I'm still eating off those books that I read, bro. Like the knowledge that God blessed me with in those seasons and those hardships and getting like every time me and my wife go through something like even if it's like this or that, I always tell her like, bro, we done been through worse. We done been through worse, bro. Like keep it a buck with you, bro. We done been through worse. We done been through worse. And it really hit because it's like God can water a seed that the streets left for dead. And at that at that low moment in my life, I genuinely thought I was left for dead. Like I thought like, bro, I can't catch a break, bro. Like I'm doing it the right way and I can't catch a break. You know how messed up that messes your mind up, bro. Like, yeah, you done did wrong all your life. Now you walking with God and you get caught in this situation. And it's like, yeah, I feel like I was better off doing the dirt. Like and keep it a buck with you. But like that's where, like I've been saying throughout this whole episode, that's where you gotta ask yourself, what is that gonna do to my faith? And I love this quote from Charles Spurgeon. If you sow a seed, you may be very feedable, but it's not your hand that makes it grow. It's the vitality of the seed. And it's like that's the thing about faith. You don't have to be strong. Your seed just gotta stay alive, bro. Like that's like Jesus said a mustard seed. Um a mustard seed. You know why he said that? A mustard seed is the smallest seed. We ain't even about to go into that spell, bro. But it's a small seed, bro. Like it's not like microscopic, but like it's very puny, bro. You telling me a little bit of that faith can tell a mountain to go jump in the lake. You so if I had imagine if I had like just this much. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you think of it like that, it really hits you because it's like, yeah, that joint is fire, bro. And you really gotta ask yourself, are you really gonna let the enemy whisper and water your seed? Or will you trust God to send it and rain in the sun for better days for you to grow or it to grow? You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna close it out right here. Um, if hearing this right now, think about your own whisper. What's the lie that keeps creeping in your head every time you try to change? You can't do this. You ain't nothing but fill in the blank. Like that's what the whole episode is about. Like the enemy don't shout, he whispers and he waits. But faith drowns out every whisper. Damn, bro, whew, that was a good episode. Um, this podcast is definitely pushing the truth, and I'm definitely seeing the the fruit of planting the seed for the last year and some change. So it's like I want to use that same energy that I use to push product. I want to use that same energy to push purpose. So it's like I always say, I see a dollar, but I always would jump at it. But now it's like I see a soul, I'm ready to jump at it, bro. Like keep it a buck with you, bro. And it ain't even about like I don't want nobody to think about this podcast as me, bro. Like or even like the whole billionaire discipleship logo. It's like that J ain't for my name, bro. It ain't for Jerry, bro. Like that jump for Jesus, bro. And it's like that's why I got this whole setup, bro. Like I got the Yahweh poster, Jesus as the center, and then the bulls and bears sign. It's like I'm I want people to know it's like this ain't just for me, bro. This is for multiple generations that God wants to touch. Multiple people who grew up in that struggle, grew up in that zone. For me to be like the bridge, bro. But like I ain't holding up that bridge, bro. Jesus is, bro, and I'm gonna keep it above with you, bro. So it's like I'm gonna always praise His name. I'm gonna always go to the top, man, because He always went to the top for me. I'm gonna keep it above with you, bro. So I definitely had to get that off my chest. Um, thank you for joining. Like, and subscribe.